everyone. It's been some time that I have not come on any of the videos due to lockdown, online homeworks, etc. And a lot of cooking, in fact, and I was not really finding time to come on any of the videos. And so today I thought, let me prepare a quick, it's not a quick one, but it's the most delicious sweet I could ever say, because this has been one of my favorite. Usually I'm not a person fond of sweets, but the one which I'm going to prepare today, I definitely can eat a lot, because this is my favorite and it is definitely going to be my family's favorite as well. So today I'm going to prepare the Turkish sweet, which is baklava. Let's move on to the ingredients what we need for baklava today. So I have here one Filo pastry sheet. So this is not a normal pastry sheet like what we use for the veg puff or egg puff. So this is a thinnest version of the pastry sheet. And the place where I live, you get it in almost all the supermarkets here. And then moving on to pistachios. Yes, it is quite a lot of pistachios. We almost need 250 grams of pistachios. You can either chop it or you can even blend it to a fine powder, and it is up to you. And the traditional version has to have pistachios, but if you're left with no pistachios, you can use walnuts, cashews, or even some leftover biscuits would do well with this. And then moving on to butter, I have here 200 grams of butter, which I'm going to melt it. Moving on to the sugar syrup, I have here 250 ml of water, or like just 1 cup of water, 200 grams of sugar. You can even increase if you want baklava to be more sweet. Few drops of lemon or lime juice and few drops of honey. So this is going to add the stickiness and also going to enhance the flavor of it. So, and this honey is completely optional because I have reduced sugar and I'm going to compensate that with 2 tablespoons of honey. And we also need a brush just to coat the pastry sheets what I'm going to line in the dish, and also a knife to cut the Filo pastry sheets. I have here an oven safe dish. So what we are basically going to do is we are going to cut the Filo pastry sheet depending on the size of the dish what we have here. Keep lining the Filo pastry sheets with a lot of butter coating in between the sheets, and then add pistachios and keep repeating the process. Pop it in the oven, bake it for 30 minutes, and once it is out from the oven, we are basically going to pour the sugar syrup on top of it while it is still hot, and then rest aside before you serve it. So this is how the Filo pastry sheet is. If you look at it, it is like thin pastry sheets. So since my dish is going to be an oven safe, and just measured it, and you can just cut it into half. So I'm going to line the tin with butter. This needs a lot of butter, in fact. And keep lining the pastry sheet. So you don't need to apply butter for each and every layer. So what you can basically do is, after you line 3 or 4, then you can apply a coat of butter. So keep repeating the process. So I'm actually spreading butter after every 3rd layer. So we are just going to spread the pistachio layer. So I'm not going to use the whole, because I'm just going to use a little to sprinkle on the top after it is baked. So I have placed all the powdered pistachios. So what I have done is I have roughly chopped the pistachios and left some bits of it. so you get the crunch when you bite it. So I'm going to repeat the same process. So I have lined the pastry sheets now. So, and I have also tucked the corners inside, so you get a nice finish. So you can do it, you can cut it even after the pastry is cooked, but I find it easy to cut it before it is cooked. So you can cut the pastry or the baklava even after it is cooked, but I find it easier because I get an option to coat another layer of butter, so the baklava gets even more sweeter. So I have made it into square pieces, and it is up to you what shape you want it. So I'm going to drizzle a lot of butter just through the cuts, so you get the flavor of butter into each and every part of the sweet. And I have an oven preheating at 185 degrees. So I'm just going to pop it in the oven and leave it for 30 minutes and it depends from oven to oven, because some takes more time, or because not less than 30 minutes, and 30 minutes is the minimum. And what you can do is just take it outside at 30 minutes and check. I mean, the indication for it to know whether it is cooked or not is just like the puff pastry, you get a light golden brown on the top of the crust, and that's when you get to know that the pastry is cooked. Okay, I have a lot of butter on this, and it's completely optional here. So what you can do is, just for some taste and decoration, I'm just sprinkling some pistachios on top of it. Not too much, just a little on each and every squares what you have cut. I'm going to pop this into an oven which is preheating at 185 degrees and let it bake for 30 minutes. For the sugar syrup, I have 1 cup of water boiling here, to which I'm going to add the sugar and 2 tablespoons of honey as well. Keep stirring, because if you leave it, the sugar will start burning to the bottom. The sugar syrup is boiling for 2 minutes, and it shouldn't take much time. You just need to let the sugar dissolve in it, and I have taken it off from the stove, and I'm just adding the lemon juice to it. I never add the lemon juice while it is still heating up, or while the flame is on. Okay, now the baklavas are out from the oven. I left it for another 10 minutes because at 30 minutes when I checked, it was still not brown at the top. So the cooking time in my oven is 40 minutes. So I have the sugar syrup here as well. So while the baklava is still hot and the sugar syrup also should be hot, you just have to pour it on it so that it gets a flavor.